All right. Welcome. Looks like we've been live for 5 seconds. I've been talking the last 5 seconds. That's fun. But we are live here with Epic, with Britton, and with Alicia. So
Hello.
yes. So first off, to the audience, stream's not monetized, so we will be saying words, and this is mostly going to be off the cuff. I think is the saying, not off the cusp, off the cuff. Um, so yeah, let's get started. New video from Daniel today proving Naomi thinks accusing people of rape is funny. Yeah.
It's been
So first of
it's
all,
been a week. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead, Epic.
I feel like I want to premise this that the victims here, the real victims here of this entire thing are people who have actually experienced like sexual assault or rape,
Mm-hmm.
and it's at the core of why it's very very important for us to have this discussion because we cannot just sweep it under the rug because it's uncomfortable to talk about. That's one. And two, it directly, sets that ideal like backwards when people are falsely accused of rape. It is it's just it's not as bad, but it's it's right beside people that go through sexual assault because you are taking their voice away from them and you're making it more difficult for them to come out. I feel like an outsider came into our own community that we've had for how many years. And I'm not that much of a Daniel Green fan. Like, I don't really watch his videos too much anymore, except there's something particularly interesting. But
Same.
you know he's one of the people that like built this community, straight up fact, whether you like him or not. And we let an outsider come into our own community and falsely accuse like like someone like that, and the reaction is what pisses me off. Like, false accusations of sexual assaults happen, right? Sexual assaults also happen,
It's
and
not even
it's
that. People
fine.
are innocent until they're proven guilty.
People, yeah, I'm getting there. Like, the point is, like,
Yes.
our reaction, we could have handled that so much better. And I'm just so like triggered and irritated about how we handle this, and I feel like I we need to talk about it, let it go. Like, that's how I feel about it. you know I know, Britton, you wanted to say something, so let me let
Oh,
you before I just
I was just mentioning it's been a week on Booktube. I don't mean to laugh. This is serious, but
The nervous laugh, it's fine.
it's yeah, yeah. I'm just like, oh man,
Like
this is
sometimes if you don't know, like when all else fails, just do a nervous laugh.
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
It
It,
definitely happened fast.
I know it was so. Uh, I'm, man.
Like,
I don't even know where to
emotions,
start.
it was like something happened that triggered everyone emotionally, and before you could process that information, more stuff happened, and then you're trying to process that, and then more stuff happens. Before this live stream, something else happened, a new development happened.
Yeah.
Everyone just seems to want to move on from the whole thing, but it's like it wouldn't just end, it wouldn't die, and
I
it's
mean, it's
just
still happening right now.
right
Yes.
You know,
now. Like, if you haven't seen it, Daniel Green posted a video just about an hour ago, and it
I
was a
think it was less than
screenshot
an hour ago.
of Naomi King. Just basically, like, someone tries to explain why what she did was fucked up, and her reaction was like she put like a weird, like, goofy emoji and says, "Oops."
Yeah, I'll get
Someone's
that on
life,
screen. His
you're
thumbnail.
messing with someone's life. Someone like articulated why it was a problem, and she said, "Oops." Like, what? Like, what the fuck, man? Like, she's not even like remorseful about this at all. That is
We
just
can
the
see the
worst part
little
about
turtle, the little sad, happy, laughing turtle right there in this thumbnail from Daniel. But yeah,
and my man is just there like having to defend himself. And it broke my heart. It absolutely broke my heart when I heard that people were actually communicating with his partner, oh, your man like did sexual assault and you're still like support, like that just broke that just like that just made me feel so fucking weird. And this is all coming from our own community. Like really, like we can't do better than that. Like, come on.
I think, and this is probably a bit of an understatement here, so forgive me on this one. I think people's emotions kind of took over before we could really process what was going on, which I mean makes sense. It kind of happens in these situations. And this time it turned out maybe it was actually false. Because generally, when these things happen, from what I've noticed, it happens. People freak out about it for a while, and then everything like quiets down, and it's just kind of, it just kind of goes away. This time, though, it seems like it's a far more complicated situation than I would have imagined at first.
I feel like the emotional response that people got, like it's very normal, no, very normal, very like natural. Like I
Mhm.
remember when it happened, I posted it on my Discord. I'm like, I don't even know what to think. And then me and Alicia, we started like DMing because it's like these are my thoughts. Like
It's like a private topic that it's so you don't want to talk like you're not sure and you're not ready to talk about it publicly because of how you feel. And that's why I personally didn't say anything because at first I didn't feel like it was my place because I wasn't one of the two people involved, so I shouldn't be saying anything.
Yeah. It's like I was devastated. I completely believed her. And I was messaging with her. We're just going back and forth, like, yo, what the hell? Like, but even at that level, right? Me and Alicia, we're having problems with the reactions that like it's like, why when did Booktube turn to TMZ?
Yes.
Like when did Booktube turn to TMZ? When is it like, oh, let's see who responds the quickest? Like when has that ever been a good idea?
But I feel like
it kind of turned into Jerry
general
Springer, if you guys know what that is. Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad.
It's very Booktube. Like I'm not blaming anybody who responded. I'm saying that a lot of how Booktube quickly reacts is if you don't respond, then you're okay with it.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's the problem.
Library of
That is
Vikings
the bigger issue here for me.
Yeah.
Man,
in Library of Vikings original video, he was like, it just feels wrong to go on continuing like normal content after something like this.
Like it's okay to pause. It's okay to pause. It's okay to like. I feel like
it's kind of what I
like.
did. To be honest.
I feel like if that's the mentality, then it's like yeah, like then I can be accused of supporting everything because you have to take a moment, especially when someone's reputation and when especially first of all when it's sexual assault, like second of all when it's like someone's reputation at stake. So this is about the Daniel Green Naomi King situation. We're just talking about like how Booktube reacted to it, and how like hopefully in the future we can do better. The Daniel Green accusations, yeah. Like it's the reactions that are annoying, and then Naomi King on another like dimension is also pissing me off because it's like she's completely allergic to taking accountability. So what was the apology for? She took down the apology video. Like, what was it for? Like, why did she do that? She did that because
yeah, she said she was still. She's like, my apology wasn't to retract my accusations of sexual assault. It was to apologize about 2 sexual assault victims. Can these things exist? Like, I feel like those 2 things are mutually exclusive. Like, isn't that
apologize to Daniel in that video?
Sexual assault survivors, but he still assaulted me.
So it's like so what are you apologizing? Like it's she's severely mentally ill and she is feeding off the attention. Like she's actually like feeding off the attention. I do not Like, I don't think she's remorseful. Like, when I've safe to say that, like, and like, hopefully, like, someone doesn't stretch this, but if Naomi King was someone I knew personally, right, and I watched that first video, like, I would be planning how to kill Daniel Green straight up. Like I'm sitting down, all my intellect, all my time, all my energy, like, you like, and to drag that emotion, like, to take me to that place, right, where I'm like, just like what are women supposed to do at this point, to take me to that place, and I find out I'm there for no fucking reason, only because you like attention and you're trying to, like, ruin someone's career because they didn't choose you. Then it just, I feel like my soul is irritated.
She's mentally ill. I think we can all kind of. Drew,
Something's wrong with her, because I
but-
mean, I'm not a professional, so don't
To-
ask me.
I've
feed
been
all-
a mental health patient since I was 11. Naomi Campbell, what the hell? Naomi King claims she has PTSD. Probably has borderline personality disorder too, because of her fear of abandonment, and she might be a narcissist also, because narcissists like do things seeking praise, and she almost seems jealous of rape survivors. Like, she wants that adulation, like,
yeah.
oh, you're so strong type thing.
Yeah,
Wow.
that kind of, like,
And they're
attention.
strong is because people have to be when stuff like
Yeah.
that
Oh
happens,
my
because they're
God.
not given any other option.
Man, like,
I'm
like,
I'm sorry, I can't.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, it's wrong on so many levels. Like, I just feel like, I feel so bad, like, for people that actually go through it and are hesitant because of something like this.
To be honest, I didn't even watch her first video because
Oh my God.
I told Epic that I had a freaking panic attack after.
I was just
I had
I'm
my
like,
own panic attack. It's
I
insane.
did not watch it until after her second video. It's on like, it's not the Wayback Machine. It's just archive. All the apologies are archived. Nobody got Bookborn's Instagram reel, unfortunately. But because I wanted to see what she said, I didn't know. But Johans is on
Sorry.
there, Jackson's is on there, and Murphy's her community post is on there too. Personally, I don't really think Murphy has anything to apologize for. All she did was unlist the videos for the time being that she had done with Daniel, and it just showed support for Naomi. She didn't put out any call to action saying we should unsubscribe from her or anything. She just said, I feel so bad for sexual assault victims. And so all three of those are on there. All of Naomi's videos are on there, like her one where she makes a mockery of Daniel's private sexual behavior is on there. I think that's video number 2.
oh my
And
God.
so
feel like
I
I was
I didn't
watched
watch the
I
other
remember-
stuff. Right?
I
I
watched
was
a little bit of her second video, and I'm like, why the fuck is she? Why the fuck? Or sorry, I'm cursing already, but like,
yeah,
why
dude,
why the fuck is she like reenacting him jerking off? Like, no. Like, look,
she
I
was
am not.
trying to
down
create
with
satire
so
out of
So
this, like,
fucking weird.
like
That,
it,
like, yeah, red flag.
oh,
Red flag. That is
oh my God.
norm. People don't do that. I'm sorry, especially if you've gone through that. Unless you want to give people a fucking panic attack.
Well,
So
what's the verdict? I can't pronounce this name, but
I pronounce
Daniel
it
has
Sarnall.
provided a lot of evidence to
there's-
highly suggest that he did not do this.
nah, it's
Obviously,
almost,
this is an open case. I'm not
It-
going to go in here and say Daniel is innocent or Daniel is guilty, but Daniel has put forth a lot of evidence, which I believe proves or shows beyond a reasonable doubt that he did not rape Naomi King.
yeah. Well, I like how technical you said. I think she lied, man. I think she lied through her teeth. I think she's like a borderline narcissist. And I don't think she should be. I think she should be in a mental ward, like, straight up. Like, you do not do that and show the lack of remorse. The lack of remorse.
Effort
It's
she put
it's-
into that.
she, like, that was like editing. Like, I edit, when I see edit, I know, like, she had cuts, like like no,
Not even that, the performance, the fake
that's the
panic attack at the
yeah,
end.
yeah.
As
Like
someone who has panic attacks, it would. I try not to use this word because I feel like people overuse it. It was triggering.
Yeah.
It made me have a panic attack, literally.
so, Alicia, right, when I first moved to Vancouver, there was this program that I did. It was a counseling program,
Mhm.
and on that program, it was something where like you listen to people who have the most extreme types of trauma, and it was kind of like a program to teach you and to set you up for like that kind of like therapy kind of thing. And it
Okay.
was kind of like you do not give them advice, you do not try to comfort them, you do not try to discredit them. The only thing you can do is encourage them to keep talking,
Yeah.
right? I
Mhm.
did that for a month, and I left there like completely, like just my brain, my heart just like shattered, because
It breaks everything.
people have been through the worst kinds of things.
Yeah.
Now, listening to her talk, right? Like, so the part of my brain was like, trying to like, actually think, but the emotional part of me watching her there took me back to those like her performance was so good. Like I know like experts would be like body language here and all that there, but like the way she was crying, struggling to like talk, like I've seen that live in like real scenarios, and I was so triggered. I was so freaking triggered. Like if
And that's
somebody,
what it was. Emotion took over for everybody. Like, I'm not blaming anybody for making statements or anything like that. But
no,
emotion took over because it brought people back.
I'm blaming people for making statements. Like I'm not statement. I'm blaming people for making videos, like reacting so quickly, so quickly. Like that's my issue. Like I understand the need to react. I wanted to
Yeah.
react too, but I had to hold back, because it's like I need to process this thing first. Like it's at this point in our evolution as human beings, we can't continue acting like monkeys. It's not. We cannot continue reacting. We have to respond, right? Especially something this serious. You cannot just like innocent as, and you like it also, I felt so like so hurt when I heard about what was happening on his Discord. Like the whole thing was annexed. Anyone who said, oh, like wait for Daniel Green to like let to say something, or he's innocent until proven guilty, anything that suggested that Daniel Green had anything to say, right, was they were banned, they were like attacked. And
Yeah, on like Reddit, people who were suggesting it were getting like perma banned. I'm like,
they
really?
were permanently banned,
Seriously?
for suggesting that everyone should just chill for a bit. That reactionary behavior is
How wars are started,
that's an
literally.
issue. That's an issue.
But I just feel like that's the world in general right now. It's all like not even just talking about this situation. Everything's reactionary.
Yeah, there's and
Even now, after some of the apologies came out, people are like, "Man, fucking suck," and this just, my God, I'm like,
I
I'm
mean, some
glad
of
I'm
those
taking a
apologies were
break.
pretty bad.
sorry,
Yeah, there were a couple of them that weren't that good.
There were a couple apologies that were absolutely terrible.
look, if you're
Some,
going
some
to
were okay. I feel like the ones that were just short, sweet, to the point. Sorry, I shouldn't have done this. And then there are ones that like went on and on and on. There was this one where they like talk about a community post they made, and the community post says something like, "The cease and desist letter is cowardice at its finest." And remember, this is all allegedly, which Daniel loves to say. And then he wants to tell us that his community post stands a middle ground. No, you can't say that. And
you
so
can't
there was that one. And then there are the people who haven't done anything. Like I don't think Read and Find Out's made another video after it. And as far as I know, nothing on Bookborn. And the Library of a Viking took down his video and took a little bit to put up his apology one.
honestly, like there are some reaction videos that made me there's I say reaction, some apology videos that made me want to barf. Like especially the ones that were like, well, like okay, I'm sorry, maybe the allegations look to be false. I should have waited, but Daniel still cheated, like, and that's a bad thing.
Yeah,
Like,
why
it's
you
like,
even bring
dude,
that up?
it's like nobody cares about, like, I
Yeah.
care about
Like,
cheating. Like, that's a
cheating is
bad
one
thing.
thing.
Don't do
Sexual
it.
assault is a complete other thing.
Nobody cheats. Like, let me make that clear. But this is not about cheating. The cheating is between him and his partner. Like,
Why?
period. Like, nobody
That was
else's
my
business.
thing. I saw
Nobody
comments
else's.
that were like, "Yeah, Daniel sucks for cheating," but it's like,
Were you
why do
watching
you
his
have to
channel?
say Daniel sucks? Like, why do
Were
you
you
have to kind of like defend, even if all you did was stand up for Naomi? Why do you still feel like you have to
like Trump?
bring
I
down
was being a
Daniel
little bit
just
right.
because he supported this girl?
So it's like imagine two kids, right? It's like one kid snatches a toy from another kid, so he's in the wrong, and then the parent, an adult comes and says, you know what, give the toy back, right? And before he gives the toy back, he snaps the legs before he hands it over, just to like to get that sick satisfaction that like, okay, I got one over you, even though like, so it's like if you're apologizing, don't add any but. If you're going to add a but, your apology is useless. Like, just shut the fuck up, like, be quiet, like, stand 10 toes on what you believe in. Don't go, especially when your actions, right, contributed to destroying the reputation of someone that has, if did not directly inspire you, inspire the person that inspired you to create your own channel. Like, we cannot let us. It's annoying me because it's an outsider that came in and is just causing all this chaos. It's ridiculous. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just well said for one thing. But yeah, no, it's just been absolute chaos. And I mean, I don't really know what to say. It's
Personally, I thought it was literally just a case of mass hysteria, which is the video he's talking about right there. I just my reaction was trying to make booktubers feel better. We got caught up in the madness of crowds. It is literally a thing. Like,
Yeah.
even if it's not
human
legitimate
nature,
mass
unfortunately.
hysteria, we're kind of a small community that's parasocial but not parasocial in a way. I feel like we kind of skirt the line between being purely parasocial and then being actually social, because a lot of us do know each other. And I think the Bookist drummer and Stacy, I'm pretty sure they met on Booktube. So Jake and Stacy, if you know that couple.
I think Ben and Grace
Ben and
also met on Booktube as
Okay,
well.
so I'm trying to avoid mentioning names because I don't want drama. But yeah, nice for mentioning names. Like,
For what?
there's something that I think no, but something like I think I shouldn't, because what I'm saying is pretty inflammatory and accusation.
Oh, okay.
Like, but like,
I mean, I don't care if you don't care.
um
Like, I'm not trying to pressure you into it, but
no, like I can handle myself. Like it's I was also like very like I grew up watching like Daniel and some of these like booktubers, shout out each other and be like promote each other's stuff and grow together and all this stuff. And when I go to the comment section of the first video and I see people like corroborating the story with like timelines and talking about like how I'm just like, really, like if you put yourself in Daniel's head right now, he probably just looks at booktube and just sees like a bunch of like on serious, like there's a bunch of people he can't trust. I was gonna use a different word, but like but a bunch of people that he simply can't trust. And I feel so bad because I don't know if you remember the time when we're doing like the cancel culture tag, like that was a thing like a couple years ago. And
I didn't care if I did that one.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, me either.
I created a video where I spoke about false allegations, and I spoke about an actual friend of mine that I know, that where like this is university now. This guy was the kind of guy that would walk into a room and literally it was like the sun came with him. Like he was like chosen one type energy, like, and very happy, very jovial. He had a thing with like girls and everything, like the stereotypical like jock kind of like a guy, fun guy, friends with him, everything. And then he slept with a girl, and like at some other point, a few months later, also slept with her roommate. And the first girl he slept with like hated that shit so much, so she went and reported him for rape, like literally, right? Now, when that happened, even I am like, yo, dude, like I can't be like I can't be seen with you, because like I don't want any kind of association, because it used to throw parties a lot and all that kind of stuff. And it took, luckily for Daniel, it was like resolved in like 2 days. Like she came and self-destructed with her second video. But with this guy, this thing dragged on for like months, like 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, until the roommate was like, yo, she's feeling guilty about it. This girl confessed to me that, yo, she's lying about it. She's just trying to get payback. Now, in that scenario, like, okay, charges were dropped, everything ended. And the funny thing was, like, the apology and all of that stuff did not spread as much as the initial news that he was a rapist, right? It didn't spread that much. Now, this dude is still doing therapy. And it's like, to watch your friends, to watch people you look up to, people that have looked up to you, watch people that took you seriously, people that didn't take you seriously, look at you and think you are a rapist or that is damaging. That is so damn, that like you will never be the same again. I don't know how Daniel, I hope it was only a day, so I don't know like how bad his own mental situation is right now. But that stuff is no joke. Till today, he still like flinches because people like literally attacked him on his way to like classes and stuff. It is not a joke. Like it has to be something that should be taken very seriously. If you are apologizing for putting someone in that position, you cannot be attaching, well, but he cheated, so I guess he's a bad person, and this justifies the initial video I made. Like, you're just a fucking idiot. Like, you're an idiot. You're insensitive, and you lack basic empathy.
I think
I'm so triggered. Imagine me pacing my house, just like thinking in my own.
You should have seen our like DMs. We were both.
Knowledge, but I was falsely accused of several things at my old school, because I recorded children performing a lesson. I was, for some reason, violating state law, but there's no law. It's perfectly legal to record your students performing a class. Like, if it pertains to the curriculum, it's 100% legal. And I pointed that out to them. They're like, well, still shouldn't have done it. I was like, okay, that's not the same as committing a crime.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, like being
I got told in college I couldn't record lectures because
I mean, it's legal
for the same reason. Like I was told by the professors I couldn't record. I was like, yeah, look at my 504 paper. It says I can record your lectures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think there was also a bit of like a raw nerve that kind of exploded after Daniel Green, because if you guys remember a month back, there was that Neil Gaiman article that came out, which I won't talk too much about it, but
I mean, I think the Neil Gaiman thing contribute to this.
I mean, just
that
consider
a lot of people learning their favorite author, someone who they probably look up to big time, especially if they write, is a monster. That's if that was someone like Philip McGregory, and I'd be really messed up.
Well, let me finish. So like that happened, and you're like, okay, that sucks. Then this happens, like not long after that. I'm not shocked at all that the reaction was what it was. Like, just all that stress and like emotion, I think it just exploded because it was just that. I hate to say it, it was the right time, the right place, and it just blew up. And
the right like situation, like everything just came together to make it crazy.
To go off of what Britton said, I feel like this is the perfect example to stop deifying people on the internet.
Oh, that's like I know
I'm nothing against Daniel Green, but everybody's like, well, he's the starter of Booktube. I'm like, that's great.
Like if Mr. Beast was accused of something, or like PewDiePie.
Like it's just like, people are people. I can screw up. You can screw up. Like,
I made a video about this the other day.
Yeah, you did.
And it's like Neil Gaiman, even though he did awful things. Like, they're people. Like, we can't keep on deifying authors and people on the internet. Like, I was telling Epic, this is a separate situation, but like the amount of like inappropriate questions that I don't think people would ask to my face that ask me on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, just because I'm in a live show and they're like, well, I know you well enough, so I feel comfortable asking this, even though it's a very personal question.
No, boundaries. Like, I don't even like, she told me like, she let me know, Alicia let me know like the specific question I was asked, and I was just so flipping
You
mad.
can say it, because like, we're not talking about who said it to me. You can say the question if you
It was something about like asking about like your age and your disability, and saying if you were comfortable having children because of it. Like, what kind of like what kind of like what kind of like it's like
I
feel
would
like
not ask
for
that.
me, I feel like for me, this whole situation brought up that stuff of like the comfortability of people asking some really
it's
some weird things you wouldn't say
Like-
to someone's face.
in
Like,
in hip hop they call it Twitter fingers, where like online you have all the
yeah,
all the boldness to ask whatever questions you want, be as disrespectful as you want, but face to face you like you wouldn't dare. Like, I'll eat you alive, like like like
It's like if I asked you about being a Nigerian in Canada. Be weird.
no, that is not even that is soft. I can answer that question.
I don't know.
I'm
I
not
don't
this thing. If it's asking if it's that's like I don't like an equivalent. If I give an equivalent of that,
Or if I like ask you about your sexual history, or like that's none of my business. I'm not gonna
There's
ask.
I've been asked
Yeah,
that.
there's
I've been
this one
asked
news
stuff
group
like
where I
that.
saw where it was just this creepy guy with a ponytail, and he's talking to one girl with his little microphone. He's like, "You have a very cute, a very girlish voice."
Oh
Now,
my god.
have you seen that one? Have you seen that one? Nobody's
No.
like, he's like, you have a very sweet, very girlish voice. Sometimes when people have women have voices like that, it's because something horrible happened to you at that age. Were you touched at a young age?
Oh my
And he just shows the
god.
microphone on their face and shows,
oh my
that is
Oh
the creepiest
god.
question, but no, and it's so inappropriate. I don't even want to go there. And the guy tries to recover and goes, "Yeah, I had a girlfriend who talked like that, and it turns out 6 years old. It was terrible."
What the hell?
It's
But
funny.
that's what I'm saying. People see that on the internet, so they think it's okay to ask weird stuff like that. The
Yeah.
a live stream where we're doing sprints, like asking me and a friend of mine who got married recently if we were going to have kids. I'm like, that's not something you would. And why me and my partner aren't married?
Just, yeah, like,
Yeah.
Like, no, it's
sit down
not.
someone go sit next to somebody at a library. Hey, so are you gonna have kids?
So
Like,
Yeah.
I'm reading a book, but
You know what? I'm gonna just do
okay.
that next time I go to my local library or Barnes and Noble. Just walk up to a lady and be like, "Oh, so you gonna have any kids anytime soon?" No, don't
So-
do that.
to be fair, like, right, like I'm autistic, so sometimes I don't get social cues, and I do say or ask like inappropriate things, but even for me that makes me cringe. Like that makes me like, yikes. Like, it's not something you ask someone. But
like I
kidding, I'm not
have
gonna
it on the
have
different
someone-
end of like, I'm very not vocal, but like I don't hide the fact that I have a cerebral palsy. But like, it doesn't give you the complete right to just ask me really effed up questions about how I fully function as a human, just because I make videos on the internet.
yeah, and
This is a reference to the movie called The Room.
Yeah.
Never saw it, and I know what you're talking about, but I've never seen it.
yeah, it's
Oh, man.
like Britain made such a good video about it, and I know I'm teasing you because I put you on that pedestal. but like, he makes such a good point there. It's like, you can't put anybody on a pedestal, right? And then because like maybe they are providing like entertainment for you online, and when they fall short of not theirs but your moral standards, then you hold them accountable to it. That is it's not rational, it's not fair. like there are places in, for instance, right? And again, I'm not justifying cheating, because cheating is not about it's about like the commitment you have with your partner. But there are places where like a woman being with only one man is considered ridiculous, and vice versa. A man being with only one woman is, so it's like to point and say, okay, you are wrong 100% for doing this. It's ridiculous. That's like a colonial mindset of like, my beliefs and my cultural like setup is superior to yours, and mine say that that behavior is wrong, so it is wrong. It's bullshit. Absolute fucking bullshit. So
Yeah.
don't go out there judging people that you have put on a pedestal, and you are holding them to your own moral standards. Nobody cares about your own moral standards. Everybody only cares about theirs. So just like Shitty is an idiot for like cheating on his partner, but like it's none of your fucking business.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was made public, so yeah. I mean,
Like,
not
I
that,
also feel like
not that it makes it okay that everyone like jumped on, because I'm like, guys, like you could at least wait like a week. Like I get like emotions are high, like I get it, like that's human, but like at least try to like wait a few days at least. I mean, that's what I did. And
Like,
I mean, that ended up working out for me.
Alicia, you like you were going to say something in context to that, like tied with journalism.
like you just need to, maybe it's because I have a journalism background that this bothered me so much. You need to get the full story before you run with one thing. And that's kind of why, like, I was personally not going to say anything, because I personally didn't feel like I was the people that were getting that had anything to do with this. So why would my opinion matter? But like, it's just you need to get the full story before you run with stuff. Like literally, and it happened so quickly that like it made somebody making a statement the day it happened old news 24 hours later.
Yeah.
What was it, 24, 48 hours later? Like it was bonkers. And I'm just like, I can't. But people were messaging me saying that I should make a statement because of my take as someone who is disabled. And I'm like, I don't even know you.
You know what you know what I find funny, the people that like reacted so quickly and they got subscribers, the subscribers that like unfollowed, were also reactionary and left that guy and like hopped onto the new
Yeah.
thing. Like those booktubers, right? Like those subscribers are going to be their gift or their curse, depending on their mentality. Because now, right, even in their apology videos, they are still trying to like, not say something to offend their new subscribers, because like those subscribers came because of the whole event, and I'm just like, I hope for their sake, for the booktubers that I used to watch that are in that position, that they aren't forever going to be producing content to just appease
Drama content.
those specific new subscribers. Because I feel like part of one thing that is beautiful about Booktube is that there isn't a single person here that is doing Booktube simply to appease their subscribers. You have to love books. It's such a niche, difficult community to like stand out and be like, we have like 1 million, 2 million subscribers, unlike some other communities. So it's like, if you're doing Booktube, you're probably in love with it, and you're probably putting out your opinions out there that are yours. But to have people that would influence you to compromise on your integrity for the rest of your content producing thing, good luck, man. Like,
Yeah, I think Drew has a good point here.
That's the point that I was trying to make with the journalistic thing. If it's got nothing to do with you, or if you're not reporting on it because you work for a newspaper or whatever, you shouldn't be making a statement.
Just be quiet. Like, just be quiet. Like, you know, you don't have to react to every emotion.
That's
And for the people that, like, it's so funny is that it's like, so people came at me when I was like, I wasn't even giving support to like Daniel Green at the time. I'm just like, yo, have you seen this video? Because I hadn't yet broken it. I hadn't like read the text messages that like really confirmed to me that Naomi King was lying. But people were coming to me was like, why am I like we still don't know the same people that were telling me that I should make a video, I should say something, were also telling me that like, why am I, you know, like making it look like she's a liar when like we don't have the full information yet. And then those same people, after like, okay, we have categorical things that very strongly suggest that she's lying, are just like quiet now.
I'm gonna jump in. We did have all the information if you read the cease and desist letter, because in the letter it very specifically states that it refers to the cease and desist letter was sent because of two videos, one that was sent to Daniel and one that was sent to Kayla. So I highly doubt very many people took the time to pause the screen and read the cease and desist letter. But I did after the fact, and it is all very clear in that letter, spelled out in that letter, that this is what this is about. It's not about the 2023 vague video. And even so, even that she didn't mention him, if we can easily piece together that that's who somebody's talking about, it's still slander. You don't have to mention somebody's name to defame them.
Yeah, where I was kind of like, so after I watched the first video, I was like, holy shit, like I completely believe that. But where I started having hesitation was when I watched the video she was referring to, where she talked about sexual assault and all that stuff. And I was just like, huh, if this is the situation that happened with Thing, then like, is it really sexual assault? And I was like, okay, maybe she was trying to be careful here. But in the next video, she just, in the video where she was crying, then like maybe she just went into more detail to like, you know, I was like, okay, but I was kind of apprehensive after the second video. I remember you said, Alicia sent to me, I was just like, yo, I'm so confused. I'm like, yo, because I watched it several times. Like,
and when I think it was after I sent you the second video, I was like, I'm literally not even involved in this, and I'm so confused.
Yeah.
See, I didn't watch the first video until Daniel released his big long thing. Like, I think the first time I watched the video, the like fake panic attack was like less than 48 hours ago. But I was hearing it secondhand. The whole drama situation was being narrated to me. And it just set off so many alarm bells of like people putting pieces together that didn't necessarily go together. Like, this person had talked about a toxic ex and they dated right after she got divorced, and it seems like no coincidence. And I'm like, you don't know that.
They only got
This
divorced?
is a lot of speculation.
Yeah.
And they're like, and I heard like she made a video not mentioning his name. I'm like, well, they don't have, and then he sent a cease and desist letter. You don't have to mention somebody's name to defame them and scare them. So I just heard a lot of speculation, a lot of emotion, and a lot of dogpiling where like someone used evidence that Daniel's Discord had turned on him. That's why he was guilty of rape, because his Discord turned on him. Like, when you put it together like that, that's not evidence. That's people reacting and just snowballing off each other until they're just at some point just making shit up almost.
Yeah.
I also feel like it's partially because people wanted clicks. The same thing with the Neil Gaiman situation.
No, this is
as we're on a video talking slightly about it.
True, I agree.
So it's like channels that had 69 subscribers were getting like 10,000 views. Like it was TMZ. It was like TMZ. People saw this as an opportunity to grow, and you know the collateral damage was somebody else's reputation, and they did not give a shit. That is scary, bro. That is so scary.
I didn't even know who she was before this. Like,
Me
I
either.
didn't know. Like, I don't.
Same.
I'm not
pissed
trying to
off.
sound mean, but like until people started
did-
sharing that first video, I had no clue.
Yeah, me either.
I am so pissed off that I even know who she is, and I'll probably know her forever, and I'm sure that tickles her somewhere. Like,
And
you
it
know,
pisses me off that she's loving this too. She's probably laughing
she's
at us.
feeding off this like so much. She's feeding off like a laughing emoji. Someone tells you like every oh my god, man.
And
You
you
know,
just put oops like you're a toddler when you drop something.
Or a mass shooter.
yeah, yeah.
I
It's
like
like-
a mass shooter vibe from that one. Like,
Yeah.
no wonder. Psychopath. Might be an actual psychopath.
I have no idea.
I completely understand why certain people that I know didn't watch it because like they've been through it. So like why would they want to open that wound for themselves?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's no.
I don't know why I never watched
I didn't.
it.
I didn't
To be
even watch it because like I don't fucking like watching stuff. I probably wouldn't have been able to handle that thing you did, Epic, when heard all those people's stories. I don't know if I would have been able to handle something like that. But like, I'm just like, I don't want to fucking watch that. I don't want to fucking deal with it, and not just because I like Daniel Green and he's one of the reasons I'm doing this right now. It's just like I don't fucking like listening to that stuff. It makes me uncomfortable and upset, and I mean. Not that I, don't want to support their story if it's true, which it's looking like it's not. But even if it's true, it's not like I want to, not support them or anything. It's just like that shit's upsetting to me, It's. I've been thinking a lot about things, and this is kind of why I decided to, take my week break because I'm just like, there's a lot of things I'm thinking about, like. Who can I trust on here?
No one.
If that makes sense. I haven't really
In life.
felt I haven't really felt comfortable talking about that with anybody because like I don't want because now I'm just like, oh man, are people gonna take that the wrong way? Are people gonna think I did something weird? Even though I've not done anything fucked up. I mean, good lord. I mean, I've made my share of fuck ups in my life. Nothing as serious as that, but I've made my share of fuck ups in life.
We're human.
Like, exactly.
So it's like to
I mean, I have friends on here. I have people I care about on here, but it's like, who the fuck can I trust on here?
So imagine how Daniel Green feels. Like it's like
oh,
I feel
horrible for him because I mean, my God, I bet he's feeling that like 10 times worse right now.
Yeah.
If you like are doing social media, right? There's an aspect of you have to let yourself be vulnerable. You have to be willing to, you have to be comfortable with the idea of people like laughing at you. So you have to like be vulnerable, right? And the thing about being vulnerable, because I remember there was a point you made, Amanda, about how because it's like how could your friends, right, literally like hear that about you? Like I know you, and all of a sudden they're like, they are corroborating stories in the comment section. Some people are coming out saying, oh, they never liked you. Like this is just off the back of Naomi King saying that, accusing you of rape, and all these people are coming out of the woodworks to like pour some more shit on your name and just like really really like put you down, and it's like, well, because Daniel Green has shown some kind of vulnerability to them and told them about like his mental illnesses and everything. And based on that, they're like, well, based on what Daniel Green has told me about his mental illness, it's possible that he's a sexual assault or a rapist. And it's like,
And that doesn't play a part into how people believe to this. Like, I mean, come on. If you the mental illness, I'm gonna say this is gonna piss people off. It does make someone more likely to commit something like sexual assault. It is I don't want to say proven, but no, it is. It is proven. Lots of sexual criminals also have a mental illness. That is not an excuse at all, But that does make it easier to believe someone with a mental illness would do this as opposed to someone who doesn't.
Yeah, it's why it's like don't like idealize these guys. Don't put them on any pedestal. And two is like be very careful what you share about yourself on social media, because apparently like you share something about yourself in social media, like 2 years later it comes to haunt you.
Yeah, that's
Like
what I said in my video. I'm like, that's why I don't share my fucking personal shit on the internet, man. Because it's like, I don't want my personal life out for display, fucking TMZ Jerry Springer style, just like this, you know? Like, yeah, no, I don't want fucking drama alert.
But I
coming to
feel
my
like
channel
people,
like that.
because they watch you, they feel like they're entitled to it, and they're not.
Which that could be the case. I mean, again, I hate quoting myself. It sounds so vain, but like generally, like I mean, I have like 573.
Listen, 1 second, 1 second. Just to quote you, I hate quoting myself. It's always just that is such a statement that someone that I have put on a pedestal will say. I'm just saying.
Oh my god!
I'm just saying.
Oh my god! No, but I just was like, oh, what was I gonna? I'm like, yeah, that's why I don't put my fucking personal shit out there, and it's. I don't know. I mean, it's debacle for sure, and it's like Daniel said, it's probably going to take a long time to deal with this.
And this is
Though one thing that kind of bugged me, and I'm sure he's saying this for legal reasons, so whatever. But he keeps saying consensual affair. I'm just like, dude, it's. I'm like, bro, just say affair. Kind of just the thing that bugs me a little bit. But
he has to say that because he has.
I get it's probably for legal.
It's in legal proceedings, so there's certain terminology you have to use.
Yeah, like he probably passes his videos through his lawyers, and his lawyers tell him, you can say this, no, change this, add consensual there, because with these things you have to be like clear. Like you have to be clear. Like if you don't add consensual right there, it's who knows how people.
Can I address this real quick from Ida? Possibly, but I just looked it up. There's about 70% of people in prison who have been committed of a sexual crime. About 70% of them have been diagnosed with a mental disorder. So that may be true, but people who are sexual predators, about those of that have been locked up, 70% of them about also have a mental disorder. Like
to back up, like you guys are talking in the same realm, but you're not even like disagreeing with each other there. But like there's another statistic about like sexual assault that is just like so messed up. But it's like people that have experienced sexual assault are statistically more likely to experience it again. Like
I've heard that.
It's like what?
I think it's a 70% chance.
It's like so what? Sorry, how many percent chance?
She said 70, Alicia.
70.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to. Yeah, it's a 70% chance, and there's, I think it's 60-something% of people that don't report it.
Yeah,
we're going off of just the ones that are reported.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I literally feel pain in my chest right now, like actual physical pain. Like that is actually messed up. Like that is so freaking messed up.
And it could be, it doesn't matter. Like it can happen to men and women and anybody in between. Like,
see, I wonder about that stat, because we know, I mean, a lot of people are chronically abused. So I wonder if they're taking, like, because let's say
that, I don't know off the top of my head, but that's a fair point.
Yeah, that's I was actually thinking about that as well. Is it like, are you just talking about like, okay,
so say we've got like a 6-year-old who's being abused by their nanny between ages 6 and 10, and that happens so many times that they can't even count. So do we count that as one instance of sexual abuse when we look into those numbers, or do we say, okay, that first day this kid was abused, they had like, because of the chronic part of it, a lot of people are just abused by people they're supposed to trust, that makes me wonder, because when you say something like 70%, that makes it sound like someone who is like raped in an alley is more likely to get raped in an alley again. But I think maybe the numbers are a little bit skewed here. I don't think it's like just spinning my wheels here. I don't. That's how it came off to me.
That
But
sounds
then
a
I
lot.
thought a little bit more about it. I think when we look at just the raw numbers, I think maybe the chronic abuse kind of plays into that. So I don't know. But
Like,
if not, that is a very alarming thing.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't know if
Like
it's totally true, knowing what I know about numbers.
it's scary if it's like two different incidents, like
Yeah.
incident one and versus incident two, that, and maybe like more scary if it's like two different people you're talking, like one sexual assaulter and a different sexual assaulter, then
Yes.
that is like terrifying, because like damn,
They say 1 in 4 girls are sexually assaulted. That means there's about 1 in 4 people out there who are sexual predators. I mean, obviously, more than one person commits a crime, but or obviously a person can commit more than one crime in their life. But how many instances of sexual assault are not reported? And we're doing that 1 in 4 based only on the reported ones, and it's like, just how many people out there are crazy rapists? Probably a lot more than we think.
So it's like it might, again, like if you're looking at it in terms of numbers like that, it might be a few that are rampant. Like I don't know if it's like the amount of sexual assault is equivalent to the amount of sexual assaulters. You know what I mean? And it's like they're like statistics that also show that, like, if it's like when it comes to like family members and everything, like that's like a hotbed of like such sexual assault. And it's usually like in cases where there's a step parent. The step parent is usually doing it to like, and the statistic on that one is actually crazy. It's like almost like 100%. Like, I don't want to like misquote it, but from where I heard it, like, and I could be wrong, like do your own research, but the study is almost like 100% of like, the step parent and everything, which is just like, ridiculous, But yeah.
I know people that because they have children, they won't date because of that.
Yep.
That is fair. That is fair.
And it's sad that we have to think like that if you are a single parent, for example, or something.
Man, like it's so complicated. It's so complicated. And it's I don't know if like, and as a woman you would think that Naomi King will be more sensitive to that, but her response is oops. Like,
I think that's what bugs me.
You didn't like slip on a banana peel and
Yeah.
fucking,
Oops.
I'm like, you didn't slip on a fucking banana peel and oh, whoopsie.
Yeah, you didn't drop my soda on the way to bringing it to me. You falsely accused Daniel Green of rape. That's a big deal.
And it's the way the stuff came out, it looks like a serious, like it was a campaign, like a well thought out, like like you look at the video editing, and the lighting she's using, she's still, I don't know, man, like
Daniel kind of played into her hand.
In that first video, she says it's a different day, but she's got the same clothes and same makeup on.
I was gonna bring that up, if she like wore the same outfit twice, or if it was just.
I was like, did she not bathe, or is she just lying?
After the first video, I looked through her channel, and she's always wearing that colorful thing. She's always like, it might be like a brand thing, because like they sent it to her, and on one of her videos she said that like one of her exes or something stole her other like hoodie, and like this other company sent her one, and it might be a branding thing where she has to like wear it on her videos or something, but yeah.
Unless she has her makeup tattooed on, which a lot of people do. Oh, well, I mean, I guess I didn't see any tears come out of her eyes, and I'm like, this bitch's mascara should be streaking, but maybe she got it tattooed on. So who knows? That's a thing, Britain.
People
No,
tattoo
I mean, no, it's funny how you said that. It's just.
Sorry. People tattoo mascara. That's a thing.
Yeah, it's
And
called
you can
permanent
tattoo eye makeup as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't know that. That's weird.
But what was I gonna say? Oh my god.
I just
So, like I said, I watched this after all the
I think we
evidence
should
came
broke
out.
your brain.
Yeah. It probably doesn't feel good, Epic. But I watched it after all the, obvious, they're lying type thing. And I shit you not, when she said his penis felt like a carpet in her mouth,
Oh my god.
I lost it. I almost peed. It was like, who wasn't it Sarah J. Maas who called a penis velvet wrapped steel or something?
Oh
I was
my
like,
god.
yeah. And
She did not.
I
I
felt so
only watched a
bad
little
for
bit of.
laughing, but it's like, I don't know. And then when she said he came on my buttock, like my buttock, which is her tattoo on her belly, at first I thought she meant her buttock, but the next thing she said was, which is sacred and was given to me. So I didn't know she meant tattoo. I thought she meant her ass. Like, okay, yes, my ass
It was the
not
language
given
used
to
that
me.
made it confusing.
So this is why we need to be clear.
It's so insane. Like, it's just like,
I don't, guys, because she has a mental illness. Maybe we should refrain from saying things like crazy and insane.
oh,
But
sorry. I'm just saying the situation
there's
is.
no
I'm not
other
saying
word
she
for
is.
it. No, I know, but it's like there's no other, like, we can't make sense of something. So this something is outside reason, meaning it's literally insane.
I read a comment on one of Daniel's most recent videos, and he just went, "Congrats, man! You literally won a court case by doing absolutely nothing."
Yeah.
Which I'm like,
He
yeah,
did.
all right. It's just like, I'm sorry. I don't mean to, like, I'm not trying to say that they're insane. I'm just saying the whole situation is, it's like,
it's like I'm trying to find better words crazy, other than insane,
chaotic.
Other than
Chaotic. How's that?
Yeah, sick.
Bonkers.
I don't know. It's just
Cool.
because it's so outside
Bananas.
reason that it is insane.
No, it's. I gotta watch the second video again though, because I only watched.
She removed all of it.
Removed.
No,
I
downloaded
it. Britain, I downloaded it. I can send it to you.
Oh, okay.
The second one.
Yeah,
It's
the
on
second one.
Reddit.
I just want to shout out somebody real quick. I don't know if any of you got, or I know Amanda has, but I don't know if anyone who watches this or is also here has watched WordForge, but he's probably been
Yes,
like
so much.
I was about to say, he's probably been like the most like rational, like,
I've never
and he's
even
not,
heard of him.
and he like
he's
he's
new.
very recent. He just showed up very recently, so I mean,
Yeah.
I don't blame you if you haven't
His
heard of
video,
him.
yeah. He's
But
been
he's
posting.
probably been like the most sane and like rational person who's, been involved in this whole thing. And he's made some really good videos about the situation. And I actually listened to a few of them last night. And
There's another guy who's like
and he's not like, and he's not like one of those weird culture war fucking weirdos like John Del Oraz, or I don't know I don't know how to pronounce his
John Del Rose, which means John of the Rice, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you, Amanda. I forgot you know a little bit of Spanish.
Yeah. Rose
John,
is rice.
Yeah, that guy. He's not being like, oh, the woke mobs and like none of that. He's just like, look, here's what they said. Sounds like bullshit. It's very well thought out, I thought.
Yeah, so there's this guy named Aaron Smalls, EREN Smalls. He looks Middle Eastern. He released a video, his very first video ever, called Daniel Green Might Be Innocent. And then he releases another one just listing the names of every single booktuber who came at him. You owe me an apology. You owe me an apology. It's like Oprah. You get a car. You owe me an apology.
Wait, who was this?
His name is Aaron Smalls, ERENSMALLS.
It's like, what the like I even got like so confused, just watching her video. I'm like, dude, not only did you make this video that a lot of people are like, man, this looks pretty damning. And then, Daniel made that like 1 minute video where, it was basically like lawyer speak where he was just like, I'm going to defend myself, which I'm not saying that was bad or anything. I mean, it wouldn't look
100%. I believe that was the right thing to do.
No, I'm saying like legally that was like the right thing to do, but it didn't make him look good and like, PR wise. And then she put out her other video. I don't know what they were thinking because,
this is just a PR nightmare. As someone who used to work in a PR office, this is
I know, right? I'm like, dude, I should work in PR because my God, I would just slap some people and be like, stop what you're doing right now. Oh God, no, but
her buttock is sacred and given to her.
It's sad for people that actually have gone through something like this. That's the main thing I take away from it.
Yeah, that's
I'm tired of consuming content about it personally. Like I just I'm kind of done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping after this conversation I can kind of like be like, okay, I've said all I need to say about it, but
I feel bad for Daniel.
Like I feel bad
for everybody involved.
And something else like really like pissed me off. Like so when he released the video where he tried to release a video, it was like a fancy like
that one plot armor video
where he was asking people to buy his shirt. And there was someone in the comment section that was like, bad move. And I was like, no, great move. Like, what do you mean? This man could be curled up in the corner of his room, twitching and fucking like, just like thinking about everything that he potentially lost and like could potentially lose, and his like lack of friends and people who turned against him, like, and he could be curled up in, and everyone will understand. But no, he's still coming out trying to keep it going, like like no, he should if he's
still gonna get comments under his video.
Sorry,
he's still gonna get comments under his video.
Yeah, I know.
You know that's gonna happen for like the next year, probably.
Yeah.
Wait, who are we talking about now? Are we still talking about Daniel?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then in like a year and a half, people are going to be like, "Oh, you remember the Daniel Green controversy when the next
one Daniel Green debacle?" Yeah.
Yeah. You remember that whole Daniel Green thing? Kind of reminds me of that.
Booktube lore.
That's in the Booktube lore now. Yeah, no.
For real.
It's like, oh man, I appreciate the people who didn't talk about it. I've recently become a mod on a server. I won't say who it was for, privacy reasons, but they're like, yeah, we're not going to talk about it. It's, that's other people's business if they want to talk about it elsewhere. So I appreciate you guys if you ever watch this.
Yeah.
The one that bothered me even more was the joke that was made from it.
Oh God, yeah, from Matt.
And I was just like, before we knew anything, I'm just like, that's not funny. Even if it's not the case, it's still not funny.
It's like it
was easy. In general, all the reactions pissed me off, but it was easier, like, and admittedly easier to be like, yo, Matt, that's messed up. Don't be making jokes about it. Like, way too soon.
Yeah, save it for April Fools.
Like it's like
April Fools.
He did it like the day of too, and I was just like, dude, no.
Like if you wanna wait a while and then joke about it, fine.
Dude, that would have been a perfect April Fool's troll.
Yeah, but like
not funny. But at the same time, still okay. It's April 1st. This was like 2 months ago. Why do we still care about this? And you click on it, and it's. Yeah, I feel like that would have been a good April Fool's.
I didn't even watch the video. I only saw his apology. Where he
took it down when I tried to send it to you.
Yeah, you said you sent it to me.
I was pissed. I was like,
he categorically said, I never liked Daniel Green.
Yeah, then he quoted "Not Like Us" with a weird case. Why is he around? I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is literally turning into Jerry Springer. Like, I'm not kidding.
But in saying that, I don't think it's right that people were doxing said person.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna say I know what state he lives in, and I know what area.
But it's not like he does for work. He does have children, so please. I'm not saying people here. I'm just saying people should not dox people for safety reasons.
Yeah,
it's like
in general. This is
not
it's not
worse.
involving just this in
First
general.
of all, we're just
that
gonna
should
say
not
it.
be
It was Matt's fantasy book reviews. I've worked with Matt a lot. They know me on his Discord over there. So yeah. Let's not dox Matt. He has small
Yeah.
children.
No,
Yeah.
it's. I mean, I don't think. I mean,
like
I have.
people were calling his job, and I was like, no.
Why is like the
That's
worst
crazy.
creative? It's like
People
the
called
worst.
his job to get him fired.
No, that happened to me. They were looking at my the parents from where I work. I almost said the town. I shouldn't because I still live here. They got on my YouTube and saw my thirsty fat girl reads Fairy Smut and were trying to get
Oh
me
my
fired.
God.
Oh my
The
god.
one where I read A Court of Silver Flames, they're like, this is inappropriate. I'm like, bitch, it's age locked. Why are your children watching, watch your friggin' kids? You have ninth graders. They're not over 18. Why are
Oh
you
my
letting them do
gosh.
this? And by the way, it was from 2023, so it has no relevance. But
I get
can
weirded out when family members
say-
find my YouTube channel, and I don't even have anything bad, and I'm just like, please don't watch.
No,
For the love of God, please don't watch.
no,
Did
me,
you
I
say
can't
that
even.
you wanted to get dicked down on the internet? Like 2.5 years ago, maybe. That's inappropriate. Okay, don't watch it. You have students. Yeah, they're not 18. Don't click the yes, I'm 18 button. That's mom's job. That's mom's problem. Mom's watching this. Mom needs to do her filters because 18
Yeah, and
plus.
this is why this is another like topic, another like field, but it's like, where does like the responsibility as booktubers come in context to like, like being a moral upstanding citizen, like for the sake of your viewers, like
Well, just as a
terms of
teacher,
upholding
teachers are
morality.
held to a higher standard than any normal person to be moral, and it's not fair. As far as booktubers, we could argue that we're public figures,
Okay.
but you could because we make
Yeah.
content that we give to the public. But I mean,
So-
Hence why my last name is
higher
not
moral
because I have
standing,
no
no.
business.
So just for context, right? Like I'll mention a name here because I don't think there's actually anything serious or anything malicious here. But like I watched Raf's video about like how like as booktubers, public figures, we need to like warn
Right, but I'm gonna get a drink.
our like viewers about what a book is about, just so that like and the big idea was like morality, and we have the moral like responsibility,
Obligation.
responsibility, like. And my argument to that is that no, like morality, because I think morality is subjective, like depending on where you come from. Like in general, they are general like standards: don't kill, don't.
That's what's part of my thought process too. Epic is where do we call something moral versus immoral? And yeah, there are definitely different standards of right and wrong. I think,
Different
but I still
standards
at the
of
same
right
time
and
think
wrong.
we need that standard. We need to
Yeah.
come together and pass laws and talk about that.
Yeah,
But that
but
entered my
Like
mind.
I shouldn't not get hired from someplace because I read romance.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
that's nonsense. That's nonsense.
Yeah.
That's nonsense. But my argument, right, to what Raf was saying is that no, I feel like as booktubers we have an obligation. If we had any like public obligation or responsibility, it would be to be truthful about our thoughts, right? Even even if your thoughts are opinions, be truthful, like truth over morality every day of the week, because truth doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter where you're from. The truth is the truth. The truth is the truth. So it's like if on my channel I feel like I am truthful, I don't have to be right. If I feel like I'm being truthful, then I'm doing my job. But it doesn't necessarily, I don't have to take a moral stance and be preachy to people about, oh, this is wrong and this is right. And if you live your life like this is wrong. But if you live your life
Something wrong, so
I-
unsubscribe.
I sorry?
Oh no, the whole morality thing. He did something wrong, so unsubscribe from him.
Yes. It's like imposing your own morality on other
Virtue
other
signaling
people.
is the phrase for it.
All right, what's going on?
So it's like at the end of the day, it's like just be truthful, and like let whatever, like that's the only obligation. We're talking about like Ralph's video where he was talking about
Oh,
like obligation to be,
And Britain's like, and with
yeah,
that, I'm out.
I saw that video. It was
yeah,
it was an
I don't
interesting
think
one.
I did. I haven't seen it.
yeah. I left a
I don't
comment.
agree with everything he said, but it did get me thinking about, like, it did get me thinking, which is always a good thing. But I don't know if I agreed with everything he said, because it's like,
It's just a different perspective.
This is a
That's all
perspective. It's
YouTube basically is different perspectives, and you watch the people that you agree with or don't. Like, for example, I have someone that follows me that purposely follows me because everything I don't like in books, they like. So if I hate something, they're gonna love it. And
They're gonna love it.
they specifically watch me because they're like, I like how you talk about books, but we have completely different tastes. I'm like, that's cool. What? Like, as long as you're respectful in my comments, that's fine.
That's a function. That's a function you serve to someone. Like, and that's great. I'm not here to tell you go to church on Sunday and like I don't know. Like
Pray to
In
I don't,
real
Jesus.
life, as an
it's like, I don't
educator, we are what role models for standards of morality. Well, I don't really think we should be. Maybe just
Isn't
in
it Guardian and Litem still? Do they still use that
Huh?
for teaching? Because when my mom was a teacher, they used Guardian ad litem, like you're making the best decision at the moment for the
Oh,
so
he's
I
just
feel
saying
like
use your best judgment.
I feel like
But,
with
or
teachers,
actually say CYA, cover your ass. So I
so
think that's.
it's like
But
Yeah.
in
I've had my
relation to
YouTube used against me to tell me I am not a role model or the proper standard of morality for children, for these kids. Like that happened not that long ago, which is one of the reasons I'm so pissed at Naomi King, because I just endured a situation where I was falsely accused of many things, and the district was like, yeah, okay, that's not true, but you're still going to get in trouble for this kind of
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I feel like as an educator, there's a little bit of sensitivity there because you're kind of exposed to children. Like, however, like coming into like your personal life, like if you had an OnlyFans, for instance, then that would be inappropriate, right? But
Well,
like,
they fire
there's
teachers
kind of-
because of that.
sorry.
Yeah.
They
They
fire
fire-
teachers in my hometown
Yeah.
because of that.
And I think that is legitimate because the boys
Yeah.
in that class won't be able to focus like 100%. But if you're
Just imagine
talking
the brain
about
explosion
books,
that would happen when
if
your
you're
teacher
talking
shows up in the porn you're watching.
if you're talking about books, right? Like if you're talking
Yeah.
about books, like these are books, right? That some kids are going to be exposed to. No matter, like I was reading Berserk, I was reading plus 18 books when I was a thing.
Yeah.
When I said, well, not necessarily pornography, but like books that like for adults, like Berserk, and like reading stories on like the original like Disney movies and reading like advanced stuff. But my point just being that like you cannot them coming at you for your taste in books and all of that stuff is highly inappropriate, highly
Yeah.
inappropriate. That's your personal life and it's none of their business. And especially if you have age like filters, like I don't even put age filters on my stuff.
I didn't even know you could. Good to know.
You can just put like when you're finishing it, like obviously there's the no, not made for kids, but then there's when you're publishing it, it's like a drop down you have to press.
No,
So it's,
Okay.
if you don't mind me going on a bit of a non sequitur rant, but Drew brings this up in his comment right here. But like, I fucking hate like there are people, I remember because I've been in school for a long time. I've been in college, and there's people who are like, well, you should be careful what you post on social media because people, because people might see something you posted that's like vaguely inappropriate, and they might not want to hire you. And I'm like, should that fucking matter whatsoever? Because that has nothing to do with what I am doing. If literally, because I've seen like videos where they do like gotchas. If someone does that to me in an office, I'm gonna fucking walk out. Like I'm just gonna be like, fuck this. I don't want this fucking job. and go fuck yourself and walk out.
Britton, I have a question.
I'm probably not gonna say those things, but I'm probably gonna walk out of the room though.
Britton, I feel like you're saying that with all due respect. I feel like you're saying that because like if you're in a position where like you had to pay rent and you didn't know where the money was coming from, your girlfriend was nagging you about like Valentine's Day.
That's a good point.
Like you're like your kid.
You gotta make sure the bills are paid at least.
Yes. Your kids are coming out at you because their birthdays are around the corner. You go online and you delete everything.
I mean, to go back to what we said about like social media content shouldn't have anything to do with your work. At the same time, we as teachers, let's not pretend we don't have a big hand in raising those children, because we do.
Oh,
We see them for 8 hours a day. So, I mean, I can see it gets blurry, even though it shouldn't be. I don't think I should be having to deal with kids showing up at my door on the weekend and leaving me notes and wanting to see me and shit like that. But it happens.
I find it weird that, like, I mean, I'm older now, but like, I saw it when I was graduating high school, like teachers friending students right after they graduate, and I'm just like, mm-mm.
Yeah, that's so weird. That is so freaking weird. Like it's like you slimy piece of shit. Like
like my mom worked at the high school that I went to. So like my mom was friends with a lot of these people, so it wasn't as weird for me, but like I remember certain people like, oh, Mr. So-and-so friended me on Facebook after we graduated. I'm like, no. Mm-mm.
It's like why are you friending?
If you're both like actually adults and not just turning 18, that's the difference. But
yeah, then
I'm friends with 2 former students, I think. Yeah. My uncle married one of his people. So
jeez.
I actually know of someone like that where like it was a professor and she was a student, and then like they kind of wanted to get married, so she transferred schools just so that he wouldn't be in trouble.
Oh my God.
They got married. Like, bruh, like, and I was just like,
there's so much like weirdness. I mean, if they're 2 consenting adults, fine, whatever, I don't care. But just like such like a weird, like there's a power difference there, my friend.
I will go on record say I'm 32 years old and I will never sleep with an 18-year-old. I don't care. No, I don't care that you're an adult. You're 18.
That seems pretty rational,
18-year-olds out there's dreams. Not getting this.
I mean, that's a pretty rational stance to take, Amanda.
Yeah.
No, and you know, I remember there was a live stream we were talking about it. It's like the reaction when it's like a boy is different from when it's a girl. When it's a female teacher and it's a boy, it's kind of like there's kind of like you're almost
pat on the back.
A pat on the back, like yo, good job, like yo, like. You know, but if it's a girl, it's like outrage. It's like,
which is completely still screwed up because it's
screwed up.
It should be the same for either.
Teacher, actually, what was well, I mean, she did it. She preyed on this from ages like 14 to 16. She was the brother of one of my classmates, so she was my 2nd grade teacher, and she got taken to court and got acquitted. And it's like everyone knows she did it. What I think got her acquitted of it is they just didn't consider it abuse.
Oh my God.
Yeah. She was found not guilty, even though she did it. Like everyone knows she did it.
Wow. Yeah. That's messed up.
But bringing it back to this Daniel Green situation, I think people, we really need to have like serious conversations about these kind of things, because I mean, my Lord, it turned out that it's very likely it might be false allegations against Daniel Green, that it was just an affair, and he I mean, that's wrong for sure, but it's a completely other freaking thing whatsoever when it's you know.
See, I must be thinking differently. I mean, obviously it's not nice, but it's not like they're married. I mean, she was his girlfriend. Don't cheat on your girlfriend, but it's not like the end of the world. They're acting like he is.
No, I mean, that's between her and him. I mean, all I'm saying is like those are two completely different things.
Yeah, but
Yep.
Britain, like I feel like this is particularly like needed for you to hear this. But when your channel inevitably blows, you need to be careful because
I know. Yeah.
you on that pedestal, you'll be a target.
Oh
So
my God.
That's why I think a lot of people were afraid to say something, because like,
What do you mean?
Yeah,
they-
that's why the
if they-
reason I hesitated, because
they
I'm
were
like,
gonna
man.
they were going to get retaliation if they said something, because that's
Yeah.
how the internet is.
Well, I didn't want to say
the only
something and then
thing
look
I thought of-
stupid.
oh, go
Like
ahead.
a lot of other people have looked stupid this week after
Yeah.
this whole debacle. And they have to I couldn't help but feel like secondhand embarrassment for some of these booktubers who had to make like, sorry guys, I
The part,
kind of made a
that
whoopsie there.
I genuinely feel for is the people that admitted that they went through something similar, and that's a very hard thing and very vulnerable thing to admit on the internet. So like
Anywhere in general. Too.
I feel bad for like not bad in like a, I feel privileged that you feel comfortable enough to say that, but like that's like some people I know were like, it brought up some stuff that I thought I dealt with. I'm like, I understand that completely. So I feel bad for those people.
That's another reason why I
respected. That's a very vulnerable
respected.
thing to bring up in general.
Yeah, for sure. That's another reason why I respected Wordforge, is because he didn't just go like, oh, these people fucking suck, they're fair weather friends and whatever. You know, he was all like, look, you don't know. Maybe they did try to reach out to, Daniel when it all happened. But, when something like that happens, you're going to be really occupied with your time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Like, yeah, no, you make a great point, and this is why I feel like, because right now there's an attitude of like everyone is trying to move on. Yes, I accept. I'm part of people that want to move on, but like, I before moving on, it's like we need to call it out. We need to
have a serious conversation about.
Yeah, which is why I'm so glad you guys agreed to like have this conversation, because it's you can't just sweep it under the rug. You can't just talk about it on your channel in isolation when nobody challenges anything that you say on camera, or like a pre-recorded video that you've edited, you've taken stuff out. Like you have to do it on a live conversation, like and admit fault without saying something dumb like, oh well, he cheated, so he's a bad person, like that. Like I watched the reaction video, I wanted to barf when I heard that. Like the damage you've done, like with your tiny channel, like is you, if you're apologizing, apologize, like
Yeah, just say you're sorry and move on. Don't.
It's like it's like, how much benefit of the doubt should we give to either party in cases like this, which I know is a very complicated subject, and that could unleash a whole other can of worms. That
I believe a woman 100% every time should be listened to. Listen to a woman, take it seriously.
Exactly.
Take it very, very seriously, right? But just
wait for the full story to come out, and then
before you jump. You do, like, take it seriously. Show her support. Like, there's nothing wrong in showing support. Show her support without without bombarding. Yeah, without like bombarding like the other party, because women need to feel safe in coming out and talking about it. We cannot create a society where it's difficult for us, and this fuck Naomi King again, but like, you cannot create a society that is where it's difficult for women of such sexual assault, men or women, to come out and talk about it. But at the same time, like, it's the reaction, is the reaction to it that has a problem. You show support without destroying the other person before, like, wait for the full story to come out first. Like, it's not rocket science. Like, you're not the only one. Everyone had something to say right after they found out, but you're not the only one with your emotions. To come out with your emotions and throw it out there regardless of consequences is an extremely selfish thing to do. It is so selfish. It's like, these are my emotions, fuck the truth, fuck the other side. Like just everything just doesn't matter. I need to. It's juvenile. It's like a toddler
It
that
kind
don't
of
to control themselves, like that don't have any emotional regulation. Keep your damn opinions to yourself until the story is more fleshed out. Show support. You can show support without talking, without causing damage to another person.
yeah. Well put, Epic.
I'm so triggered. Like I don't know if you can tell, but it's like every rant I go on, I feel exhausted. Like I'm just like deflated after.
No, it's
emotional.
yeah. I get you. Yeah, I hear you. It's just I mean, yeah, I'm kind of I'm kind of the same way. I mean, I do think it should be like I do. To be fair, I think the only things that Daniel Green is guilty of that I know of is well, A, cheating on his girlfriend, and B, being an absolute moron, which like, how would you okay, a bit of a non sequitur, but just follow me here. Why would you fucking cheat on Kayla? She seems like such a sweet person. What's wrong with you? But I'll be fair to the guy. He does seem like he has taken steps to get help. And
I will tell you this, like like the whole cheating thing is so complicated. It's not as straightforward as that. Like I'm not supporting it.
I know. I'm sure there's I'm sure there's like emotions and all that.
We don't know what goes
shit.
on behind closed doors.
We don't know what happens. Like trust me, it's so complex that I'd rather not even. And that's so personal. That is so personal.
To be fair, I agree with Drew, though. I don't think it should have been our business, to be honest. It really, again, that's why I don't share my personal information on the internet. I mean, I don't want to get, I mean, I've talked about where I've gone to school and stuff, so I guess I've already kind of, but, aside from that, like, I don't talk about what I'm doing in my daily life,
No, but Britain, with the amount of videos you push out, like,
you put out so many videos, I feel like every day.
I know.
Boom, boom, boom.
It's like, I can paint a picture, man. If I really, really wanted to, I could paint a picture.
I should note a lot of the time it is in here. So I mean, or out and about doing stuff.
Yeah.
Or spending time with my family. But that's not the point. I just don't want like my personal relationships or anything like that to get dragged out for everyone to see, like this very situation. Because that shit it hurts people. You're right, Epic. It hurts people. People get hurt when that happens. And just the reckless disregard for people's feelings in this situation has been just it's been bad. It was bad. It's just it's been horrible.
Yeah. Just give like there was this thing again that let me see. There was this thing that I wanted to like read it out that Drew put on about like the Mockingbird. Let me see.
Oh yeah, To Kill a Mockingbird. Okay, let's put it up.
Yeah. Like it's so relevant. If the act of denial can be taken as proof of the crime, how can an innocent man defend himself?
And for those who don't know, To Kill a Mockingbird is about, it takes place from the point of view of like a 8-year-old girl, maybe. I don't know how.
8 to 11, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember how old Scout is, but her dad is in Alabama during like Jim Crow times. Her dad is defending a black man who was falsely accused of rape.
Yeah. It's like it's the consequences of like, and this is like the one that always gets me. It's like the Emmett Till one. Like that's like oh my god, man. And his mother was like, when they told her that his body was too destroyed to
have an open casket.
It was still destroyed to have an open casket, and she was like, no. Let the world see what
I think people need to start doing that for like mass shooting victims, so we can see what the AR-15 does to people.
Oh my god! Like,
let's not get into that. Like, yeah. Getting back to the topic, again, it's been a week. Emotions have been high. They got a bit too high, if you will. That's very bad English. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's I should note, and I'm kind of glad I waited to make a video. I will say
Yeah.
that.
No, very responsible of you. Very, very responsible of you.
I mean, I was tempted. I was like, should I replace this video? And I'm like, no, I've been working hard on Fate of Fantasy, so I'm just gonna do that. But whatever. I don't want to make this about me. But it's just
The
been.
only video I thought about filming at the time was just sharing my experience with essay, but then I just never did it.
Drew is leaving right now. Thanks so much for like
I do.
having this conversation.
Bye.
Fun hanging out, Drew.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Going for an hour and 35 minutes.
Yeah, I was about to say, have we talked about all we need to talk about today? Because
I feel like I've gotten out like a lot of what I wanted to say. Like I feel like, it's like what's pissing me off is like, okay, you've already reacted, like the apology videos, like just
Yeah,
do
I
it
want to talk about the apology. I'm probably on my other channel going to talk a little bit about the apology videos. Because in that channel, I talk about skepticism and rhetoric and
Oh, you have 2 channels?
yeah, it's called the Dusky Skeptic. It's where I go break down like
Okay.
claims of the paranormal and stuff like that. But I might do a little bit about the apologies on that and be like, why this apology doesn't hit. Don't say this when you're trying to give a speech, because I'm a debate coach.
Yeah. It was like, hey, there's people that obviously haven't apologized a lot, like, you need to, it's a way to apologize. Like, it has to come from the heart, and, I feel like people were just using, it's just views, man. Like, I don't, except there's something about like online, like just online stuff and friendship that I don't understand in general. Like, some of those apology videos were completely unacceptable. So like insulting, I was even.
I'll put it this way. I take friendships very seriously, Like, if I'm going to be friends with you, like, I'm fucking sticking with you unless you do something, like, extremely heinous and it's, like, proven and whatnot. But whatever. I would like to think I would reach out. If somebody got accused of something, I would like to think I would reach out to them and ask their side of the story before I do or say anything.
Yeah. I mean, Jackson Dickard is supposed to be one of his really good friends, called him a piece of shit in his video. I mean, others who just watch Daniel, that's different. But if you're the guy's actual friend, just text him and be like, hey, dude, did you do this?
No, not even just
That's the other thing. Not everything has to be on the internet.
Yeah. Not everything has to be. Oh, that's such a good point. That's such a good point. Like, do you have to react on the internet where your voice is so amplified? Like, are you so self-righteous? Are you so unaware? Are you so like infatuated with yourself, so self-obsessed that for 1 second you don't ask yourself, like, what if I'm wrong? Like that question.
Like, for me, I don't think of like crying and posting a video, like crying and being like, I should film this. No. If I'm going through some personal shit, it's personal shit.
It's personal shit. And
you don't
have to react online.
Yeah. And it's different if you like message one of your friends, or like if Epic messages me and wants to talk about something, that's different because that's a private conversation.
And here's
that's not going on the internet.
As I'm very open about my mental illness and how I handle it, but just being open is not enough. You can't just talk about it, because then it comes off as like you're looking for a pity party. You have to be some sort of activist in the way you openly discuss your health.
Same. That I should talk more about cerebral palsy. I get that comment. I get that comment a lot. Yeah. And my response, and it's still going to be my response till the day I die. Yes, it is part of me, but it does not define me as a human.
Exactly. Your illness is not who you are.
I have said that since I was 12 years old. It does not define me as a person.
No.
Oh, well, yeah, it's kind of like that with autism as well. But, I've already talked about that a little bit. But yeah, no, it's
But then you get people who are always praised. Oh, they're so open about it. You should be nice to them. You should admire them. No, being open and just sitting there and complaining and whining, that's not being open. That's looking for a pity party.
The next person, right, that ever should tell me what to post on my channel, like especially if it's something like moral or like taking a stance, or it's like I remember when one time I was pressure to go to like a Black Lives Matter like a protest, and that one particularly, like it was the George Floyd one, and I didn't want to go to a protest because I genuinely felt that like protesting would not do anything. I just knew that like protesting will not, like I just felt that I was just going to be wasting my time. But I remember being pressured to go for it, and like nothing particularly came out of that, like that was so negative or anything, but to like do not pressure me to take a stance. Like anyone, like I'm referring to this Daniel Green situation, because there were people that DM'd me to like say something or do something or react, and no, my platform is not like, it's not a platform of, I'm not trying to use it for like somebody else's ideology, somebody else's agenda. Like if it's not coming from me, I don't want to say it on my channel. If it's not
heartfelt, so to speak.
Yes, if it's not coming from my heart, I don't want it on my channel. I don't want it on my channel. Don't like, no, this is not TMZ. Go to TMZ if you're trying to get like
kind of drama alert. You guys remember
drama alert? Yeah, like this is my channel is about books.
But there are so many Booktube channels that focus on that because it gets them views.
Yeah, you have to get views on Booktube. You have to your channel has to be more than just about books.
This is a little off topic, but not really. Does anybody remember Brandon's Bookshelf?
Brandon, yeah, it sounds very familiar.
It sounds familiar, but not a face isn't coming to my brain.
He's bald. He's a white guy and he's bald and he has kind of like a red beard. This is like an auburn coiler beard. Anyway, he no longer does Booktube, but he does.
Oh, I remember. I remember him. I remember he does political stuff now.
Yes, now he has a channel called Mind Shift, and inspired by Daniel Green released one about the Salem witch trials, warning about theocracy and how we need to learn from history and when the masses get too crazy. Yeah, this was definitely a witch hunt. I mean, let's face it.
Yeah. Like there's, but it's like, so it's like what annoys me about Booktube, about this whole Booktube thing specifically, right? And this is just like another way of looking at it. It's like we've read these books, we've read about like we know, like there's almost like a responsibility of us who read history, who read philosophy, who read ideologies. We've read about Socrates. We've read about so many people like that, like historical fiction, and when you talk about like philosophy in books, like we've read so much that we should know better. Like, and is it naive? And this is a question that I was asking myself: is it naive, right, that to expect a more like logical response from the Booktube community because we read? Like, is it like am I thinking too naively to expect us to not be like, I'm saying human, and then I'm like, yeah, well, obviously we're human, but you get my
right back, guys. I gotta plug in my.
But you get what I'm saying. Like, is it too much to expect that of the Booktube to be just be a little bit smarter? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, as intelligent as people are, it's hard to hold a candle to human nature.
Yeah, but it's like that means like even history doesn't matter, because even if we know history, like when it comes down to it, we're still going to act like animals.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I hear what you're saying. It's
a huge big topic. It's a big one because yeah, like if the books we are reading, like isn't giving us.
Did I just show everyone my messy apartment?
No, you're good.
Like
I can see a little blurry, but it's I don't see anything specifically.
look
I
look
had the
look
camera
look at
off, and
my
I guess the way I was holding my computer, it
yeah.
put me
So
back into the stage. But I'm actually going to agree with you, Britton. I think it comes down to human nature, human beings, tribal, and us influencing each other the way we do. That kind of herd mentality takes over.
yeah, but the point I was trying to make to that was that like we read books, like we know history. We are booktubers. We read, like we have whether we're abstracting from Game of Thrones to get to understand something philosophical, or we are reading actual history and like philosophy, like we know better. So my question was like, can we not like, is it too much? Is it too naive to expect that as booktubers would behave like differently or will behave like, but again, it boils down to, but we are human. But is it Tornell makes like a point, like he makes my point, like books should offer a little bit more insight into human nature. Is it, are we on like, is history is, so it's like we can learn from history, but if we are reading the history and we are not learning from it as booktubers, then what's the point? Then history, then
It's going to repeat itself.
we are doomed as a species.
Mhm.
But like
I think it's important to note, though, guys, that our perception of ourselves is much different than the way others perceive us and the way we perceive others, which, as a writer, is why it's so important to get other people's opinions on your books or your writing, just because it's really easy to see something happening from the outside, but it's not always easy to see things happening to you or you doing things. And, some people just have more self-awareness than others. And I think that goes back to just human nature. But I think one of the reasons I was able to spot this, and quite honestly, I never thought Daniel did it. And like I said, I never watched the video. It's probably because I didn't watch the video. Had I watched the video, I probably would have believed it, but I was just hearing, I was on the outside. I was kind of like on the edge of the circle where this was going. And I'm like, this just doesn't add up. And they're like, no. They provided so much evidence. I was like, okay, but still maybe. And I think had I watched that video when it first came out, I probably would have fallen into it too.
yeah.
But when it's happening to you, it's a lot easier to see into your own, it's a lot harder to see into your own psyche, into your own human nature than it is to see someone else's.
It just makes me sad because I feel like people will be less empathetic. Because
it's going to be like 10 times harder for SA victims to like talk about their experience. So yeah, good job, guys. Really did a service there.
Yeah.
I think the people who, I said this in my video trying to reassure Booktube that, it's not the end of the world, but I think people should feel guilty for what they did to Daniel, but I don't think there's any shame in really what happened to us. It just happens. So I do think they need to forgive themselves. Whether Daniel forgives them is completely up to Daniel, and he's no less of a moral being or a good person if he chooses not to forgive them. That's up to him. Like, we don't just have to forgive somebody just because they're sorry. We have to think of ourselves too when it comes to that. But I just don't think booktubers should be ashamed of how they reacted. Yeah, they can feel guilty for what they did, but I don't think there's any shame.
It's a understandable reaction given what was put out there.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing people get wrong about forgiveness. Like, forgiveness isn't just like, hey, Epic, you're absolved for doing something wrong. I'm just saying this as an example. You didn't do anything wrong. It's letting go. It's you choosing to not let what happened to you affect you anymore. You're not going to let that person hurt you anymore. It's like, I've suffered enough from this. I'm going to let this go.
Forgiveness is more about you than the other person.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
And if you choose not to forgive someone, I don't think you're less of a person than if you had forgiven them. It's up to you.
Yeah. But and forgiving doesn't mean like if you forgive someone that hurt you, that doesn't mean you have to be friends with them.
No, absolutely not.
Or that you'll forget what happened. That it absolves them of what. Yeah. Forgiving is different than forgetting.
Yes.
So it's like, and I'm sure a lot of us
still move on without forgiving somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have.
Like,
Yeah,
it's,
same here.
I'm good. Like
Yeah.
there's certain people that I'm just like I didn't even have a conversation with that I was like I'm done.
yeah, it's like
I was
I'm
out.
no longer putting any energy into this.
Yeah,
Written in
exactly.
dust.
So it's like I had this like this bully in high school, and he used to bully me like really bad. Like it got like
Oh, and did he send you a Facebook message to apologize?
he sent
Yeah.
me
Oh geez.
but
Me
not
too.
not even that, like, you know, he apologized and everything, and you know, I forgive him, but like now he's trying to take the extra step to be like friends and everything, and I cannot be like, I just can't. And it's
No.
not even about, it's not about like not forgiving. I have forgiven him, but I feel like being friends with him will betray the version of myself that experienced the bullying that time. And I like, it's like, you know, no, every decision I make, like I try to make it in honor of myself. Like it has to be like, if for instance like I break up with my girlfriend, and my girlfriend says let's just be friends, and I say no, I don't want to be friends with you. It's not because I don't, there was no friendship there in the first place. It's because I want to keep my dignity and self-respect. Like, I'm not trying to be friends with someone I'm in love with who is going to be moving on, and I'll be watching their lives like carry on. Like, do you understand? So making decisions in honor of yourself, like treating yourself like, you know, self-respect, like dignity, like, and when you put that into factor, you can forgive someone without, we don't have to be buddies anymore, but you know, we don't have to be friends anymore, but you know
Yeah.
what, love. Yeah.
That's the kind of the same thing. It's like I got an alert for like my 15-year, 16-year class reunion or whatever it is. And I was just like, I don't care. Like
Yeah.
nothing about any, I really don't care. I don't, but like everybody wants to pretend that we were all like freaking kumbaya and shit. I'm like,
I just
yeah,
went to my
when you
10-year
shove so and so into a locker, like, no, we're not
Yeah.
going to be.
I mean, I know it looks like that in the movies. It's not quite like that. in
No,
real
like
life.
I have no ill will towards you, but I don't want to pretend that we were friends when we weren't.
Yeah.
Like that's fine. I'm happy that you want to be friends with me to show me your baby on Facebook. But like other than I'm just like I don't care.
I don't give
That doesn't mean that I think you're a bad person. I just don't care.
keep your baby out of this, man. I don't give a shit. Like,
Yeah, like I'm just like
yeah.
and that was the whole thing. They were like, we're gonna buy like rent a house for the weekend and it's $600 per person. I'm like, hang out with a bunch of people that didn't like me? No thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm not going
good.
to my high school reunion either.
I feel like prior to social media I understood why people wanted to go to reunions. But like everything's on social media now, so why would I have to go pretend that I don't know you have a kid
Yeah.
or whatever? Like
You just triggering me at that point. Like, you know, you see your bully, you see the girl you liked that never liked you, you see the one that likes you and maybe still likes you.
or that they said now that you're older, they're like, I picked on you because I thought you were cute.
Yeah, I
Or
know.
whatever, like whatever. I'm just like, get out of my face.
Nah, it's like, yeah, you
I'm
need to,
good. Get
Get
out
out
of
of
my
my
face.
face.
you're mature enough. You're just mature enough right now to realize what you did was fucked up. Like, but you know, like you're still low key. Like, I don't know, if I had to bet, you're still low key the same person. Like, so just like keep your distance.
Exactly.
You know.
I don't think any of these people are bad. I'm just kind of
No, I get your point.
I've moved on. Like I realized how much I changed when I went back home and hung out with my friends from home. I'm
Mhm.
like, I've changed a lot in the past 4 years.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it until then.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I went back to Nigeria for the first time in 11 years, and
Wow.
I was so shocked. Like I could recognize everything, but I felt like a stranger in my own country. Like I was like, yo, like this is so different.
Isn't it weird? Like you're just like, I belong here, but I don't feel like I belong.
Yeah.
And then,
The
and then,
first time
and
I went
then
back to my high school,
when you're the one who left and came back, right?
Yeah.
You can almost see what everybody is thinking because now you're removed from it. You're removed from it, and you're like, you continue this pattern of yours. Like this is what you think.
And
of
you're
my-
still
this is
hanging
what-
out at the bar that we used to sneak into when we were underage.
Yeah,
Like an Anchorman, we've been coming to the same party for 12 years, and in
Yeah,
no way is
basically.
that depressing.
I'm just like, I don't care. Like, if it makes you happy, you do you, honeydew. But like, if it makes
All right, we're talking about high school reunions. Have we kind of gotten everything that we need to say about BookTube out of us?
I think so.
I think so.
Basically.
I think
For
so.
now.
think-
I'll
For
say
now.
for now.
For now,
I
Nice.
think so. Like I'd say, like yeah, if you guys make videos about it, I'll watch it. Like at this point, I just want to move on, and like as I've spoken, I feel like I've said everything that's important to say. Um, you know, I am like, since I joined BookTube, I've not really placed too much value in being like friendly with everyone. Like I've always handpicked my friends. I'm really happy to have you guys as friends. And I just looking at the whole BookTube situation, I just felt like I had to talk, because it's like we need to do better as a community. Like BookTube community, we have so much potential. Like I'm so excited for what the possibilities of what will come out of BookTube in the future. But at the same time, like, we need to do better. We are not just reading these books because, I don't know, they are fun or whatever. Like we're like, you have to learn to abstract. You have to learn to be self-aware. You have to learn to like read these books and get like the themes and the philosophies and the ideologies and the messages and the lessons, especially when they are not finger wagging, but they are honestly representing a truth that we can apply to our own lives. Like I do not like, there's no point of just reading for like you can read for reading's sake, but you've probably read other books for deeper reasons as well. You know what I mean? Like we have so much potential as a community, and we need to do better. We cannot let an outsider, come into our community and dictate our emotions like a fucking orchestra. Like we have to do better than that. Like that's like, ultimately, like, we should do better. I don't really want to talk because it actually makes me sick. I don't want to talk about it.
Sometimes it does take an outsider to show you what's wrong with your own community and yourself.
Like they held a big mirror to like BookTube.
Yeah.
Like this is what
And
you
I
are.
think there's a lot of good that can come out of this once we get past our.
Hurt feelings.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
or
was gonna say,
the-
like, I'm trying to pushing the brick away from us. Then
like
Yeah.
right now we're literally the meme of Homelander just taking a breath at the farm, where he's like, oh man, that was rough. Like that's literally BookTube right now.
Okay, guys, we are about to hit 2 hours. So if everybody's gotten what they want to say out, I think, because I had to put my computer back on the. Yeah. Are we ready to go? Basically,
Yeah,
I'm running out of things to say.
I'm good to
My
go. I'm
computer's
actually really
about
hungry. I
to
haven't
give up
eaten
on
today.
me. Like, this thing is held together with green duct tape right now. It's so. Are we good?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, we're good.
Okay, I'd love to
All right.
collab with all you guys again. And
Absolutely.
yes. And Alicia, I will send you a link because I don't think you're in my Discord. I think you're the
No,
only
I'm
one.
not. I would like to be
Yes.
though.
Yeah, I will send you an invite. So
Thank you.
yeah, definitely. Okay, guys. So bye to our
Have a
people
great
still
day.
watching. I'm gonna hit end stream.